Today we are at the Goatmans Bridge in Denton, Texas, investigating claims of paranormal activity and animal sacrifice. We are going to see if there's anything to this legend or if it's mostly based in myth. So let's find out. We're going to start with a tour of the Goatmans Bridge and the general area around it, just so y'all can get a better sense of what this location looks like in the daytime. So starting off here, you can actually see just how close we are to the highway, and the bridge is only about 100 yards that direction. I would say almost all audio is going to be unusable. Oh, look, squirrel. We can rule out footsteps. All right, so we have the Old Alton Bridge sign here. It was built in 1884, and this is where the old road used to actually go right through here and across the bridge. And I think they got rid of it in the 90s, built a new road, which is exactly what you see right there. But it was used for a long, long time. So there's been a lot of traffic through here, obviously, over the years. So there's two trails here. There's a trail on this side that goes off into the woods pretty far ways, at least about a mile, maybe 2 miles. And then if you cross that bridge on the other side, there's another trail. And that one is a lot more unkept than the one on the left side. We'll go ahead and head over towards the bridge. And so this is the Old Alton Bridge, nicknamed the Goatmans Bridge itself. It was built in 1884, and it's mostly made of iron and wood. And you can actually see that there's some decent sized holes in it, and it's actually been patched up a while back. Make sure nobody falls through. Now we're gonna do some investigating and see if we can't rule out some of the common paranormal claims people say they experience on this bridge. So we're gonna go ahead and show you all the other side of the trail here and just walking down the bridge. The concrete Ouija board structure, I think, is somewhere out there.
Yeah, somebody made a giant Ouija, but you could feel like,
oh, actually.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
There's the yes right here.
Right,
oh,
yes.
Oh my God, yeah.
You see, it's still, it's been snowing here in Texas recently with the big cold front, so it's a bit slick. It looks like you can even get down into there. But just look how close we are to the highway. So you will be non-stop hearing cars on this bridge. There's no way you can do any kind of EVP work. Honestly, I'd be surprised if you could even hear those spirit boxes, but I don't know how they're editing that out in their video. But yeah, so this trail is the one that extends. It's on the right side of the bridge, and it should take us to the concrete Ouija board structure. So we're gonna go see if we can find that real quick. So I also want to point out that this is a completely public park, and there are people coming in and out all the time. We've already seen about 5 or 6 people, and it only gets worse at night. That's when most of the local teenagers and other ghost hunters come out to do their investigations. And you can tell there's just, I mean, there's graffiti everywhere. I do think maybe some people talk about this tree. Some people talk about a supposed portal tree. I don't know which tree it is, but this one does have some nice artwork, and I like the way that it's kind of split in the middle. It's pretty cool. But you can see even on these ones, I mean, there's graffiti all over the place, and constant foot travel from people. So while we're walking to the Ouija board spot, I did just kind of want to mention that while we're back here, we are keeping an open mind. So something interesting Bob the cameraman just noticed is that this symbol has appeared on 3 different trees now. And I'm very curious to what it is. We'll have to do more research when I get back home. But if you know, let me know in the comments. So the woods out here are pretty thick. And even though you can see the highways right here, right off in these woods, we can hear birds and small animals, probably squirrels, you know, kind of rattling around. And it really does kind of sound like someone's following you or hearing footsteps. So definitely in this case, though, it is birds and squirrels.
There we go.
Just kind of wanted to go ahead and film this in the moment, but this is how easy it is to be scratched when you're out here in the woods. This just totally caught my right leg, and I guarantee you I'm gonna have a scratch right there. and there's all kinds of thorns on these. If you look at them, they're real sharp. So the claim that the Goatman is out here scratching people, in my opinion, seems like it's probably just the plants in the woods. But we will check the bridge. All right, so we've gone about half a mile, maybe closer to a mile, looking for the Ouija board concrete spot. I don't see it, but from the videos I've seen, it's most likely just a spot where there used to be an old house. Now people go out there and graffiti it. I don't think there's too much to it other than that, so I'm not gonna waste most of our time trying to go track it down and find it. All right, if anyone knows what kind of tracks these are, me and Bob were curious. You see them right there, leading off? They're very large. I think it's gotta be just a large deer, right? I don't know. Interesting. Now, what I will say has some merit is the idea that people are coming out here and doing things like animal sacrifices. So this actually isn't my first time here. I came here once in high school, and we were walking through the woods this way, and we went really far back, and we found a couple of plastic bags. Being curious high schoolers, somebody got a stick and poked at one, and it ended up being a cat in a bag. So maybe there is some merit to that. So far today, we haven't seen anything to confirm. I don't know how to tell for signs of sacrifice versus maybe somebody just dumping a cat out here, but you know, maybe there's something to it. Okay, so another common claim is that there is an unusual amount of snakes out here. And what I want to say about that is that this is North Texas. Now, currently it's the winter, so we're not going to find any snakes, but usually this area will be full of snakes. These Texas creeks have tons of cottonmouths and all kinds of snakes, honestly. And I would expect to see a bunch of them in the summertime, and I don't think there's anything paranormal about it. Okay, so I think cameraman Bob was able to confirm that this is the portal tree, because you can see it's got the connection at the bottom and the top, and it's open in the middle, kind of like a portal, which is pretty cool. It's also got that weird symbol on it, and apparently the rumor is, and the legend is, you are not supposed to try to get through this tree, or I don't know, I guess you're transferred through some kind of portal. We didn't really hear that part of the story, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through it. Should I do? All right. I think I can get through it. Is there anything to grab? Not really. Oh yeah, I got a handle. Three, two, one. Good. Spider web. All right, well, I'm halfway through the portal, and I'll say that my hand is perfectly fine on the other side. I can still see it. It doesn't feel any different. And I think that's gonna have to be the debunk. Now, I do wanna say while I'm up here that I don't think there's actually anything too spiritual about this tree. It's kind of why I'm climbing on it. I think it's more just kind of a little bit of a fun landmark here, and it can more than support my weight. Okay, cameraman Bob, get me down. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, all right, let's keep going. Okay, so even at 4 p.m., there's constant traffic on the bridge, either people fishing or just walking down the trails, or people like us who are looking for signs of the supernatural. So we're gonna take a break and go down the trail on the left side this time, which has an actual name called the Elm Fork Trail. It says it's got a distance of 0.2 miles, no bikes or motor vehicles. All right, so on the left side of the bridge, maybe 150 yards away, there's actually a big either warehouse or factory type building. I'll have to look this up and figure out exactly what it is, but there is a lot of activity on both sides of the bridge, which can make investigations very difficult. All right, so some of the popular ghost apps use the magnetometer on your phone to output different words, the most prominent being ghost tube. But what I want to see is, does the iron bridge have an effect on the phone's magnetometer? So that's what we're going to test right now. So you can see we have this, and we're going to bring it towards the iron bridge, try and have a slip, and we measure what happens. So as I bring it closer, you can actually see, yeah, look at that. So it's climbing. The closer you get to the iron bars, the more the numbers start to climb, and it is definitely having an effect on the phone's magnetometer, directly correlated to how close you are to these metal bars. And that's important because people, when I see them investigating, are always sitting along this, and I think a lot of the activity they seem to get on their devices is coming from the bridge itself. So another test we want to do is just take the base magnetometer readings while standing on the bridge versus standing off the bridge. So we're going to record for a few seconds, maybe a few minutes right here, and then we will take it off the bridge a little ways away. That way we can see if there's a difference in the base levels on your phone's magnetometer. Okay, so we've stepped off into the woods now to do a baseline reading off and away from the bridge and away from most different kinds of metal. See if we can kind of establish that the bridge has a greater effect on the magnetometer no matter where you're standing on it. Okay, so something else we're gonna do is a quick test of the sound intensity, which just is measuring, you know, what are the decibels when we're just sitting quietly on the bridge. So we're gonna sit quietly and record a baseline here, and then go off into the woods again and do the same thing. Now, we are very close to the road, and that's kind of what I'm showing here, is that this just isn't a great environment for sound. So now we're a ways off from the bridge. We're gonna do the same test for sound out here. Okay, another common claim is that if you knock on the bridge 3 times, the Goatman will appear. Now, most people do it at night. Maybe there's something to that, so we'll have to try out both. But let's go ahead and do it during the daytime, see if we can't get him out here. That's not a very good knock, is it? Maybe it wasn't loud enough. I'll use this Red Bull. Might be better. Well, it did seem to summon a lot of minivans. All right, well, I don't think he's showing up right now, so we're gonna keep going. Maybe there's a delayed effect and he's gonna show up later. We'll let you know. Okay, so I have to make a quick correction here. Cameraman Bob pointed out that I'm in fact wrong. This is not repairs. This is for cars that are driving over the bridge. Now we're gonna do something kind of interesting where we have Cameraman Bob on one side of the bridge, and I'm gonna go to the very far side of the bridge over there, and I'm gonna try to make myself look like an apparition. And the reason I'm doing that is just because of how many people cross this bridge at any given time. I think it's highly likely that someone might be filming from one side and see a regular person over at the very end and mistake them for a spirit. So we're gonna see what it looks like in the daytime, and then we're gonna see what it looks like at night and kind of compare.
You're good. Great.
Something every good investigator needs is a notebook. And what we're doing right now is we're walking across the bridge and we're just trying to take notes on anything of interest. And I'll show you a good example right here. So there's actually some loose floorboards right here. See how that one moves? Now, it really scares me, but more importantly, it squeaks. And I think, see how it gives that kind of groan sound? I think you could have instances where people hear that and think paranormal activity, instead of the truth, which is just some loose, squeaky wooden panels. There's a lot of locks on the bridges. So another thing I'm looking for, because scratches is a big claim here, is anything that might stick or poke me, especially when I'm up against the edges here. So I think there might be some spots, yeah, like right here, where there's, they've got a chance to kind of poke you and leave some scratch marks. Okay, it was just off camera, but there actually was a splash down there, which is interesting because it is the winter, so you wouldn't expect snakes necessarily. It's probably some type of fish, but you know, in pitch black at night, that might really freak you out. So, worth noting. All right, not paranormal, but definitely interesting. How the heck did somebody put that lock up there? Now, if I wasn't a debunker, maybe I'd say that's the Goatman. Supposedly he's taller than the average human, but let me know what you think. I honestly, I'm not sure how they do that. Neat. I thought we'd take note real quick on the bridge itself. There's another one of these symbols. It actually is the Eye of Horus. We looked it up earlier, and it's a protection symbol. So somebody is trying to protect the bridge from the goat, I think. But it seems to be placed kind of just all over the woods out here. So I mentioned earlier that I have been here once before, and I wanted to just kind of tell a quick funny story about the last time I was out here. And about right over there where that Red Bull can is, there was a guy. He was wearing a fedora adjacent hat. I don't think it was a fedora, but what really stuck out to me was the sword on his hip. He had a big sword right here. So naturally, after a few minutes, and I was convinced he wasn't probably going to use it on me, I asked him why he brought it. And now remember, this whole time he is facing the water. He hasn't looked at me once. Without turning around, he goes, "To protect you." And doesn't say another word the whole time I was there. We were probably there for at least an hour and a half, and he stood there silently guarding me and watching over me, protecting me from the Goatman. So, if you're out there, thank you. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is a classic ghost investigation technique. We're gonna use this EVP recorder. Now, I'm going to set it on top of this book to hopefully absorb some of the vibrations from the cars passing by, as well as maybe just the rickety bridge itself. And we're gonna just kind of see what we get. This is Mason and Bob on the bridge. It is approximately, Bob, you got the time?
5:08.
5:08. And we are going to set this recorder down on top of this German. Is there anyone who wants to communicate with us? If there is, you can speak directly into this device right here. Mr. Goatman, are you here with us? Charles Washburn? If there's any spirit here, move this lock right above the recorder. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is move away from the recorder so that I can take myself out of the equation for any particular noise interference, and we'll just leave it recording for a few minutes. Pudding. So one idea I had for potential reasons people may be hearing voices or capturing EVPs on this bridge is the idea of wind, and the idea that that wind can pass right on through the bridge and kind of give that whistling sound that in a lot of cases can sound like voices. And especially if you're on a paranormal investigation, already primed and expecting paranormal activity. So another common claim here is cold spots, and I think this actually shows pretty clearly why you might feel cold spots on the bridge, because the bridge doesn't have anything underneath it, so the air runs both above and below and keeps this area much cooler than the surrounding environment, which is why you see a lot of snow right in this area. So we've been on the bridge a while now, and I want to say so far we haven't experienced anything that I would say is paranormal. just regular noises of the forest and the cars going by and some passers-by and a fish. But other than that, hasn't been too much. I realized one place we forgot to show y'all before it gets dark is underneath the bridge. So let's go down here and see what we can see. Oh, there is no under. Where the heck are they when they say they're under the bridge? Is it flooded? Or are they talking like, oh, under that bridge?
I think it's across the way.
Oh, I'm an idiot. We're on the right side of the bridge now. We're gonna go down to it. That's pretty muddy from all the snow, but we will brave it for you guys. All right, cameraman Bob, hit that. I never get to hold the camera. Ah, I almost showed your face, Bob. There you go. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Well, at least it's entertaining. Now I screwed up my other arm. Now I'm arming this. Here, let me.
I got it.
It's going to be real slick. After the portal tree, my left arm isn't doing so good. Now, it's not because my hand went through the portal or anything, it's because I totally got it stuck when I tried to jump out. Just want to make that clear. But we are under the bridge. This is where I think the Ghost Adventures crew kind of did their setup. I'm pretty sure that trail on the left is the one where Aaron supposedly got thrown like 20 feet or something crazy. Yeah, so we got him just under the bridge. Goatman, are you here? If you're here with us, give us a sign. I am open-minded. I would love for you to be real. So please. There's a lot of sounds of dripping down here from the snow melting. Oh, Jesus. There was some very vulgar graffiti down here, so we're taking a second to clean up the area and kind of just help the community out, because that is unacceptable. Graffiti isn't cool, kids. So I just want to point out right now, we can't see anybody, but I do hear people yelling off in the distance. So we can hear. Don't know exactly what they're saying, but it doesn't sound pleasant. But, you know, that's kind of what you can expect to hear. And if, you know, all the lights were out, I think it would be a lot scarier than it is right now. Now, another thing we weren't able to do that I just want to talk about is setting up surveillance. Obviously, this is a public place. I'm not going to film people without their permission. But in most cases, you want to have some kind of surveillance system ready to go. See, the sun's starting to go down. It's looking a little bit creepier. No doubt about that. There's the bridge. So I just want to point out we did hear a couple of the local teenagers screaming just now. We know it's them because I just saw them. I think they're actually below the bridge. At this point, I don't think there's much we can test, giving cameraman Bob a break for a second. And just wanted to say that we are waiting till dark, and we are sitting on the bridge, keeping an open mind to anything that could be still around. Like I said, I am a believer in the paranormal, but I think a lot of paranormal activity can be easily explained. But I will keep an open mind and sit on this bridge until it gets dark and we can run our final few tests, and then we'll get out of here. Now, I didn't plan this, but it is a full moon tonight, so once the moon's out, we'll have to do the knock again. Maybe we'll get lucky. So we are back in the parking lot, but I did hear this on the bridge as well. We can hear the whistles from the high school nearby. They're having a soccer game or a football game, I think. So we're hearing the whistle of the ref every once in a while. Okay, so I am gonna break out the ghost tube just to show, just to test the theory that ghost tube is using your location to feed you specific words. I don't think this is true, but since we're in a known haunted location that you can easily find on Google Maps, I thought I'd get it out just to try it. And I do want to say that I would never use this as a paranormal tool. I am only using it now to debunk it. I've made a whole video on why I think ghost tube is not something paranormal investigators should use. If you want to learn more, please check out that video. So far, no words that strike me as possibly being correlated to the Goatman's Bridge, but we'll see. This device does go off an awful lot. I kind of wonder if I get it close to the bridge, if it'll start like really spitting out words.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, the closer you get to the iron bars, look at that. You can see it's affecting the magnetometer. I am so scared putting my phone this close to the edge. Smell. I probably do smell. I've been wandering around the woods all day. I'm not telling you, that's the whole point. But honestly, I've made my thoughts pretty clear on the ghost tube. The sun is starting to set. Soon it'll be time to call the Goatman and do some final tests. I'm excited. We haven't had anybody besides a few teenagers come through in a while. Since it is a Sunday, I feel like it'll probably be not as crowded here, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people start showing up here in a little bit. Okay, so another thing to talk about with the claims of animal sacrifices out here is a rumor I heard from a few different people. And I used to live out here, so I know a few people in the area. And they say around Halloween, the pet stores in the area tend to stop selling cats in particular. I know there's a common trope that pet stores stop selling black cats during the month of October, but this was specific to all cats. And if anyone in the area can confirm that for me, I would love to know that information. Please reach out. You guys want to see me ride that tire swing? Is anybody here that wants to talk to us now that we're pretty much alone? Cameraman Bob won't bite. He's friendly. Quit showing your teeth. I'm not trying to spook him. Charles Washburn, if your spirit is trapped on this bridge, give us a sign. That's an airplane, just, you can hear that? That is not the spirit of Charles Washburn screaming. It's definitely an airplane. I do think the airport, that's a good thing to point out. I think the airport is kind of nearby because that's the third plane we've seen today, I think.
Good.
Can you see me? All right. I can't emphasize enough just how little control we have over the environment in a place like this, and just how bad of a place it is to investigate. I'm very surprised that teams come out here in the first place and film. I feel like it's just one of those places that should kind of be legend. I'm perfectly fine with the legend, but I don't think paranormal investigation teams should really come out here. There's way too many variables that you cannot control, and any evidence you capture is pretty easily refuted. Yeah, so when I step on this, I can hear stuff rattling over here. Oh, you hear it's loud. This is pole right here. What's making it rattle though? Jump, yeah. Cameraman Bob, oh my God. Cameraman Bob, can you jump up and down? Okay, that's really interesting. It has like a delayed reaction. What in the? So it's clearly from us walking on the bridge, but if anyone knows exactly how this works, because it's clearly delayed, let us know in the comments. I'm interested. I'm gonna jump on it. All right, so our camera doesn't record very well in the darkness, but I want to show this pole again, which I'm realizing you guys probably can't see now. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And I'm going to jump, and you're gonna see it does shake, but then there's a pause and it shakes a second time. If anyone knows why that happens, please let us know. All right, ready? We're gonna jump. 3, 2, 1. There it goes. Explain that, science. All right, can you see me well enough?
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's time. We're gonna do final call for the Goatman. Goatman, if you're here, this is your time. All right. Are you here, Goatman? We've come a long way to see you. Moderately long. I am blinding myself. I mean, I can barely see anything. So cameraman Bob's gonna tell us if the Goatman is here or not.
No Goatman.
All right, we'll give him a second. But I do want to say, just for the record, the reason that I don't have much in the way of night vision cameras is because I don't investigate at night. I think investigations should be done with the lights on. The only reason I'm doing it right now is to investigate a particular claim, but I can't afford another camera at the moment. It's kind of fun. Yeah, I'm like a little bobblehead. But yeah, we should be investigating during the daytime. Oh, see, it's a lot spookier at night. There's another fish, I think. Maybe a turtle. Do turtles hibernate? Who's it? See if we can see a turtle, huh? I don't see anything. Maybe just a fish. All right. Well, guys, I think it's safe to say on this trip we did not experience much in the way of paranormal activity. And I will say, for teams who consider investigating here, don't. This is a terrible place to investigate. Please go anywhere else. Go somewhere where you have a lot more control over the environment, right? I think public places in general probably aren't the best for ghost hunting. Depends on the situation, but specifically for the Goatman's Bridge, this is just not the place you want to investigate. All right? If you don't hear from me, please be sure to like and subscribe. Might do an outro, but if I don't, this is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.